Hello and welcome to the Ratings Review. We're here today with Charlie Jamieson, Chief Investment Officer and Joint Founder of JCB, to talk about the JCB Dynamic Alpha Fund, a fund in which we Wright recommended. Thanks for the opportunity to chat to you today, Charlie.
Thanks a lot, David.
The business is now, 8 years old. I remember meeting you and Angus, when you was in the formation of the business. So we've been very familiar with you and the team and the business over a long period of time now. And one of the things that we like is the diversity of skill set that you've carefully, established and grown as the investment team. Can you take us through how that's structured and the breakdown of responsibilities within the team?
It's really pleasing to deliver on what we told the market that we wanted to do. And so, clearly, when you start one of these businesses, or with good intention, a lot of people want to see you complete on that. And we've broadly done that over the time. So we're really thrilled about that. But the team looks different now. We're an investment team of 6, spread out across 4 in Melbourne, 2 in Singapore, and an additional compliance resource in Singapore. I look after all of the portfolios as the Chief Investment Officer. I still love to get my hands dirty. I love being a PM. And so actually involved in all of them. Chris Manuel, who's here with me in Melbourne, is a very strong technical background in terms of technical analysis. He has a chartered market technician's degree, which is very, very rare. I think there's only a little over a few thousand globally. It's a bit like a CFA of technical analysis. And he works with me primarily on the domestic funds down here. We've also got Paul Chin, our head of research and strategy, and Angus Coote down in Melbourne. And then in Singapore, we've got Kate and Ben, very, very smart folks who look at the global side of the portfolios. They do a lot of work in this particular fund in terms of building out the portfolio construction and which bonds we'll buy in terms of using those bonds to build up an escalator of income. Yeah. Now, with that escalator, obviously, we try to take that off to market and make additional alpha for our clients. So they're really heavily involved in that. But primarily, Chris and I run the Dynamic Alpha solution from here. We do, of course, get a lot of support from Singapore, particularly with things like executing in European or US markets. They've just got that further reach into those days where I don't have to stay up till ungodly hours after reading my bedtime stories in the evening. Yeah. With those executions, we can leave them absolutely to affect those, and it's been working really well.
Yeah. There's obviously a number of big global players, not necessarily in this space, but certainly in the management of various fixed interest strategies. In comparison, relatively small team, although, as I said, we like the fact that you've built a very diverse team in terms of skill set. Where do you see the sort of advantages and or disadvantages of, the smaller team as opposed to some of the international fixed income players?
We do have a smaller team, obviously. We think we've got a really good mix of experiences. I guess my experience has been, managing European and US Treasury portfolios for a long time. Some of the biggest, flows in the world, where I was working for a bulge bracket American investment bank. And that's very different to Kate's experience, for instance, where she was working for a central bank, working for the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Bank of Thailand. So different style of management. Chris has clearly got that very technical element, that bent. And Ben, PhD economist, wonderful in terms of coding and model building, all these things that I could never wish to never hope to be able to really achieve with any success. So we've got a really good blend. Look, we believe we work very efficiently and well together. I think hopefully that was showcased through the period of March and April last year when every manager was put to the sword in terms of being stress tested and needing to respond on behalf of their clients. One of the great things about having a Singapore office is we were just so far in front of what COVID really was. I guess their own, experiences with SARS and the like. It was clearly emanating out of China. Ben is a Chinese national. So, we were onto this very quickly. And for all those big competitors that have 2,000 PhDs back at the home ranch, they didn't catch it at all. And we just couldn't believe that with all of that brain power, collectively around, maybe there is too much management by committee at some of those types of places. So we could make those decisions quickly. We're a smaller team and really, affect those outcomes. And we did, hopefully, we think we did a pretty good job for folks. We're certainly, running this type of strategy. In those moments, people need to be able to depend on us, to be able to access liquidity, to be able to get off and find deeply discounted equities or whatever that might be. And broadly, we didn't change anything. We didn't skip a beat. It was really nice to be able to deliver on all of those things we'd promised folks with no movement of the goalposts. And they really had great experiences as a result of that. A lot of them have made a tremendous amount of money saying goodbye to us, which is the correct thing to do in those moments, and hello to a bunch of other opportunities which have worked out really well.
So thanks for your time on that today. For further information, if you'd like to go to the website links at the bottom of the page. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, David.